everybody. First, I'd just like to introduce myself. My name is Amy Cusack, and I've had the pleasure of being an instructor for these lovely ladies and gentlemen that are going to present to you this evening. So it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Veterinary Medical Assistant final presentations. We're really glad to have faculty, staff, friends, other students, and obviously family and friends who are online who are joining us this evening. And really we're here to support our students as they share the culmination of all their hard work and knowledge that they've learned over the last 2 semesters. So the presentations that they're doing this evening not only represent their knowledge that they've gained, but it also represents their dedication, their growth, and their passion that they've had for the last two semesters. I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure I'm speaking for all of the other instructors. We're incredibly proud of you guys, and it's been an absolute pleasure, and we're really excited to see what you guys are going to present to us this evening. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our first group to start the presentation.
Is this where we're supposed to stand? I think so. Okay, welcome guys. This has been our year as VMA students, and this is our team. So hi guys, my name is Zoe Watson. I'm from Lethbridge, Alberta. I grew up in a family that has always had animals around, from large to small. We've pretty much had it all. And I found my passion working on my family's ranch. We take guided horseback tours through the mountains, and that's when I knew I wanted to do something with animals. I really didn't know what I wanted to do out of high school, and then my friend who went to school here mentioned the program, and that's when I knew that I wanted to do it. And I'm doing my practicum at the Fort Macleod Vet Clinic.
Hi everyone, my name is Sienna, and I live just down the road in Biking. I was raised into a large animal-loving family where majority of our family gatherings, there would be more animals in the house than people. I first learned of the VMA program from an open house that I attended here 2 years ago. It was a super easy decision for me, as the program was everything I was looking for. It was close to home, and I have plenty of friends and family that have attended Lakeland, so I knew that it was a great school. And in 2 short weeks here, I will be heading to Spruce Grove Veterinary Clinic to start my practicum.
Hi, I'm Bree, and I'm from Dawson Creek, BC. I live out in an acreage, and I've rodeoed since grade 12, and my horse Drift right there, and then in the bottom is Junior, who I'm going to start rodeo with. I chose the program because I'm really passionate about helping animals, and I chose this college because of their hands-on experience, and that I loved that they had a very good hands-on learning program, and that I work really well with my hands, which is really good for this program. And my practicum, I'm going to Chetwynd, BC. Oh my god. I'm going to Chetwynd Veterinary Hospital in BC.
Hi, I am Jade Rodermuth. I am from Kimberley, BC. I have always been passionate about planes and jets as a child and wanted to pursue being a pilot to take after my dad. I still do, but I also always have connected with animals and strongly bonded with them, so I've always wanted to help them, especially after learning how badly a vet treated my first family's dog, and I just want to treat them better. And then I found this program really fun and challenging, lots of hands-on practice, and my practicum will be in Cypress via Medicine Hat.
Hi, my name is Zuleika, and I'm from Delta, BC. My brother first introduced me to this program last summer. I've always loved animals for as long as I can remember, and this is one of the main reasons I joined the program. Down there is my cat Layla and Opal, and yes, there are 2 different cats with the same name. And for my practicum, I will be going to the South Surrey Veterinary Hospital. What have we gotten up to this year? We have learned an abundance of things, everything from large animals to small, even exotics. Alongside attending our lectures, we furthermore gone on field trips and completed many shifts such as kennel care, dairy and farm shifts, and clinic duty, as you can see here. During kennel care, we've taken care of cats and dogs. We took into consideration the things we had learned and applied them. We, such as nutrition, calculations, and properly cleaning the kennels. Throughout the given times for clinic duty, we worked together as a team with the vet techs and appropriately clean the clinic. We had fun shifts as well, such as milking the dairy cows and hanging out with the adorable calves. And we, during our dairy shifts, and we used to do that at 4:30 in the morning. And by 4:30 in the morning, I mean 4:30 in the morning. And we get to not only have fun during shifts, labs, and lectures, but outside of college as well. For example, for our oral presentation at the Lakeland open house, we also created a video where we interviewed our instructors and fellow classmates, whether it was a VMA, vet tech, or even someone from the equine program. A couple of field trips we've gone to are Quarter Cuts, which is a slaughterhouse. We've also gone to the Vermilion Livestock Exchange and the Western Drug Distribution Center, or as some of you may know, as WDDC. WDDC provides pharmaceuticals, products, and drugs to many clinics around the area, such as Edmonton and British Columbia.
Alrighty, so during this course, we have had the opportunity to learn about nursing and clinic responsibilities, genetics and production, nutrition, anatomy, radiographs and surgeries, diseases and treatments. And I feel like if we didn't have these lectures, we wouldn't be standing here today as the VMAs we are. These lectures gave us the knowledge to be able to go out into our program and know and be more confident of what we want to do.
So how did we use the information from our lectures? Well, we were given the opportunities to take our information that we learned in our lectures and use that in our labs. Not only does this give us the chance to connect the text that we've learned in class to what our experiences are in the clinic, as it also gives us the tools and the learning blocks that sets us up for success. We now have a wide variety of opportunities going into our future and are prepared with the knowledge that are needed for our careers.
As you can probably guess, our favorite part of our program has definitely been our hands-on labs. You can see that we've been extremely busy this semester, this year, practicing, experiencing, and learning all of our new exciting skills. We've pretty much done it all, from being in the lab with your microscopes, blood smears, urine analysis, to taking x-rays to the surgical suite with the instruments and the patient prep. We've been to the farm with your large bovine, equine, and ovine labs, along with your small animal veterinary care, dentistry restraints, and then of course your pharmacology and emergency protocols.
What was something we wish we had more time for? More hands-on practice. I find that more hands-on practice really helps with muscle memory. And then also definitely assignments and D2L quizzes. For the quizzes, I find that having an hour limit stresses me out, and then I tend to rush to get it done. Definitely for more kennel care shifts and farm shifts, I just really enjoyed spending time with the animals, taking care of the dogs and cats, and kennel care, and then milking the cattle, and then taking care of the horses.
Alrighty, but how have we grown through this program? Not only have we grown through this program, we've also grown closer to each other and have made lifelong friendships, which have made this experience easier for us. But we did have some bumps in the road, like communications issues, not seeing eye to eye, and time management was a big one. But we stuck together and we got through these bumps together, and I feel like it taught us how to be more professional and get through our problems in like an easier and more professional way. Yeah.
So what were some of our challenges? Every journey has its own ups and downs, and ours was no different. But it's in those moments of struggle where you find what you discover is what you are capable of and how you are capable of handling those situations. Some examples of this were miscommunication, conflicts with peers, burnout, mental health, learning to manage our busy schedules, and quizzes and assignments that never seemed to end. Not only were we challenged academically, but also personally. This year has taught us how to communicate and to ask for help and to take breaks and set boundaries. And most importantly, how to lean on one another. We turned obstacles into learning opportunities and setbacks into lessons. And while the road wasn't easy, we walked together, and that's what made it all the better.
What has helped us get through our challenges? Throughout our time here, we quickly learned that our fellow classmates were our biggest support system, in between our large class group chat with constant updating to everyone always just offering that helping hand. Our small bunch of 21 were quick to grow and build a strong bond with one another. Secondly, our teachers. Our teachers have been an enormous part of our success here, and we're always there behind the scenes, staying up late, marking papers, replying to our emails, and always happy to help wherever they could. Amongst their busy schedules, they were always there, putting us students first. And lastly, our resources. Lakeland offers some extremely beneficial and free resources here at this college. Just to list a few, there are accessibility services, tutors, career counselors, learning strategists, and financial aid, and the list goes on. I can personally say that some of these resources have helped me immensely, along with other fellow classmates. It truly takes a village, and we wouldn't be here today without our families and everybody here at Lakeland College.
How can we educate the public on the VMA program more? Definitely demonstrating some restraint techniques made in front of some people with stuffed animals, live or cadavers, creating cahoots so that they can play, and then have them labeled diagrams as an activity, travel to schools to educate them more, just like shelters do.
Last but not least, I think the question some of you have been wanting to know. Why should you choose to be a VMA student? Well, for one, you'd be getting hands-on experience. We've, as a class, worked with horse, cattle, sheep, and even small animals like cats, rabbits, and snakes. So why, you ask? Well, personally for me, I didn't know I wanted to join this program, even after it was presented to me by my brother. I went and volunteered at the local clinic here in Vermilion. I went home and gave it a shot, and I applied. And I came to this college and met these amazing instructors and classmates that are standing and sitting here with me today. And that's when it clicked, and I knew I wanted to be a VMA and possibly, hopefully, something more. Thank you.
Here's some photos from the year. And thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah.
Would you say, is there any areas right now that you're going on practicum that you don't feel comfortable with, or you hadn't had any exposure to at all?
I think the program has pretty much set us up for success in all of the areas that we need to be. I feel like the only thing now is just confidence, remembering all of everything that we've learned, and putting it all to work in our practicum.
I have a question. What was your guys' favorite part?
Who wants to answer that?
For each of you, just individually. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I gotta say, probably like all the hands-on labs. Just, it's really interesting to go from learning it on like in a textbook and then going and practicing it. It's a lot different, and I definitely got to say it's my favorite because I got to hang out with animals. So.
Is that general consensus? Any
Yeah.
story?
Yeah, just being first hands-on with all the animals and being able to apply all of our skills and all of our knowledge and be able to see it firsthand and practice it has been really neat. Awesome.
Thank you.
Exactly sure. Maybe actually, yeah. Amy's coming down if anything, but I'm not exactly sure.
There's like a folder, are we going into a folder?
Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's all good. We're just gonna close out of here.
Okay.
You guys are good too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure like exactly how to run it on like anything,
It's
so.
all good. It's all good. We're going to extend. Come on. And then we are just going to go to the PowerPoint. You have the clicker?
Yeah, let me get my hands quicker.
Okay. So if you have notes, it'll show up here. Okay.
This is our experience with the VMA program. Hi, I am Mackenzie Knorr. I'm from Lloydminster, Alberta. Shocking. I am going to Pemberton Vet Hospital in BC, which is a very long drive. I learned about the program in my grade 12 year of high school from a question that my brother asked me, and he's like, what are you passionate in? And I said, animals. And luckily after that, I met with one of my career counselors in high school, and they showed me this program. So, yeah. Why I love this program is it teaches you to make light out of a dark situation and how to help people when they need the help, and also meeting new people in the industry and that are at the clinic here or even on the trips and stuff. My summary of the program is the teachers are passionate in what they're doing and what they're teaching us. The classes are hard, but they are needed to succeed in this industry and in our careers. I learned how to be a better teammate and how to work with different people from different walks of life. All the classes are beneficial to learn about the vet industry and how to manage stressful situations.
Hi, my name is Macy Kuikinger, and I am a proud resident of Cold Lake, Alberta. I have been passionate about animals from a very, very young age, and currently I have a playful chihuahua, a playful cat, laying hens, and a rabbit. I'm very excited to pursue my career in the veterinary field and the dedication that goes towards it. Currently I'm completing my program in the Veterinary Medical Assistant program, and I'm very excited to start my practicum in a mixed animal clinic in Bonnyville. The Veterinary Medical Assistant program has taught me many things. Most memorable in my mind is how to be a team member, the importance of communication in the workplace, how to handle stressful situations, handling animals in a fear-free manner, the anatomy and physiology, and control and safety of infectious diseases.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Luisa Francisco, and like majority of the students here in the VMA program, I've always loved animals since I was a little kid. Growing up, my family and I had plenty of dogs, and I eventually lost count. And even after getting a new one, I always wanted another one as well. Originally, I lived in the Philippines, and I moved here in Canada in 2014. And back there in the Philippines, when I was living there were plenty of stray dogs and cats, and that just made me really sad, of course.
because majority of them are incredibly ill, homeless, and of course starving, even treated poorly by strangers as well. And witnessing that truly, I believe, enlightened me to help the animals. Ever since then, I've just had the urge to help them and aid for them, and to provide them a better quality of life, and to follow through. I believe being a part of the veterinary field will go a long way from that. And to experience a solid foundation of the veterinary field, I chose the VMA program. At first, everything was incredibly new, but before all of that, I was just browsing through the Lakeland website, since it is closer to where I live, which is Lloydminster. And originally, I was going to apply to a vet tech program, but I thought maybe I should just start off as a VMA to kind of see the basic knowledge and of everything, to see what I'm really looking forward to if I want to continue with this passion. And yeah, everything was so new, but now I do have a greater understanding about this practice. And yeah, at least with the VMA program, even though if I want to move on to a vet tech, I'd at least know a little bit. And since it is a bit more complex with the vet tech, it wouldn't just be handed everything right at me if I did choose that at first. So I believe that the VMA program was the right choice to do that for a year before the 2-year program. And this program has exceeded my expectations and taught me better than I imagined. And of course, I was really terrified since I didn't really know anything. I've only had experiences from my pets. However, though, the teachers were very great and very encouraging as well. And they always taught us better than what we exceeded and wanted us to learn better. And being a student at Lakeland brought me varieties of experiences and knowledge as well. And my most favorite part would definitely be all the kennel care, which is the dog and cat care, even the horse care, and including the farm shifts as well. And altogether, it was a privilege to be around the diversity of this program, from pets to large animals. And I will utilize all these skills to go to practicum in Edmonton West Animal Hospital, which mainly focuses on small animals.
Hi, I'm Taylor Deezer. I'm from Vermilion, Alberta. I'm a student here at Lakeland, and I chose this course because throughout my life I always knew I wanted to work in veterinary medicine. When I was younger, I thought the only option in a vet clinic was to be the vet. I didn't know that there were techs or VMAs. However, during my grade 12 year in high school, my family friend gave me an opportunity to have a tour at Lakeland campus, and she told me all about the VMA and tech program. After learning more and seeing all that Lakeland had to offer, I knew this is where I wanted to go. After learning, during March of 2024, I'd attended the open house here at Lakeland, and I learned even more about the VMA and tech program, and I applied later that day. This first year of college has gone by very quickly, and I'm looking forward to using my skills at my practicum at Wainwright Veterinary Clinic. This course has truly benefited my life in more ways than just knowledge. I've made friendships, and I've learned valuable lessons throughout the year. Throughout the year, we've not only learned how to care for and help our vets with small animals, but we've also worked extensively with large animals, which many other colleges don't have to offer. We were also given the awesome opportunity to have field trips this year. These field trips, we learned about the importance of auction markets, slaughterhouses, shelters, and WDDC. This course has truly been put together in a way that helps students excel while providing many hands-on labs and opportunities for shift work such as cat care, dog care, farm shifts, the dairy farm shifts, and clinic duty. I really appreciate and enjoyed the hands-on learning and the shifts that were provided and the extra education this course has provided. All teachers in this course have set you up for success, and they always give you time for questions and one-on-one time when needed.
So my name is Tira Heiss, and I'm from Edmonton, Alberta. So I've lived with cats my whole life, and from a young age, I was involved in many educational programs at the Edmonton Valley Zoo. And this is what really sparked my interest in specifically the specialized care that we give so many different species that since we share our lives with thousands of animals on this planet, I think it's important that we learn how to care for them. And I'm going to be starting my practicum at Gateway Veterinary Center in Edmonton. So most of my high school year was occupied by COVID-19, and I graduated during the pandemic. So I didn't have many opportunities to find what I wanted to do in the future. So after a few gap years of trying to figure out certainty and pave this perfect path of mine, those close to me, they pushed me to the program and just to get me into the field and build confidence and such. So when I struggled in the past to aspire for the future, this program has given me so much experience to foster my growth and shape my confidence, and all of the challenges that I faced in this program have really strengthened my resolve, and I've become a completely new person than I was last year, and now have a new passion for learning that I never actually had before, and I'm very eager to continue education forward into possibly vet tech or psychiatric if I so choose so.
So the education that we get here at Lakeland is kind of extraordinary, to be fair. We get a lot of hands-on experiences in labs and in lectures. It doesn't feel like that sometimes, but we definitely do. We also work with a bunch of different species, with like snakes to horses to cows to guinea pigs to ferrets to anything you can think of under the blue moon. We've probably seen it. We also learn about like nutrition for each animal, and we also learn about the breeds of cats and dogs and horses and cows. The list goes on, you couldn't say more. We also learn about all the diseases that these animals have and they could carry. We also learn about veterinary software, which honestly, before I came here, I didn't know too much about. And we also learn about client communication as well. And we also, Kim is an excellent teacher, and she also teaches us employee satisfaction and how to handle our emotions when tensions do get high in the clinic, because they do. That happens. People's animals are like their little kids. So, yeah.
So we get a lot of lab experience here at Lakeland. Such lab experience is X-ray and positioning, various lab equipment exposure and practice with centrifuges, microscopes, and we also learn how to do blood smears. We got to experience a live surgery, which gave us a bunch of opportunity to take into what we've learned throughout our past labs and use it to help a cat. We also got kennel care, and we got to do some exotic handling, which was really cool.
So one thing that I found really set this program at Lakeland apart from other ones that you can access in Alberta is the opportunity for large animal labs. Coming from a city in Edmonton, I've never had any of these opportunities that we've had to work with sheep, with cattle, and horses. That truly has opened a complete new field for me that I never would have known beforehand. So this is a really special part of this program.
And one of the fun things we got to do was having a dairy barn shift. It is a very limited access due to biosecurity, but it was such a great opportunity for VMAs to experience that. And especially for someone like me who never grew up in a farm as well, or even be around livestock. It definitely did extend my range of interest and expanded my learning as well. And one of the things we got to learn was how to milk a cow and using those automatic milking system. We got to bottle feed the calves using the milk we've collected. And last but not least, the smell was definitely very interesting and odd and highly strong. But it surely did wake us up for our 4:30 a.m. shift.
During the year, we went on many beneficial field trips that helped us in our learning. These excursions enabled us to observe different practices in the veterinary industry. It helped us interact with animals and observe the veterinary professionals in action, and then helped us gain the knowledge in a variety of environments. We went to industries such as WDC, butchering shops, auction marts, and Edmonton Humane Society, and helped us gain an in-depth insight into the veterinary world.
Oh dear. Okay. I was like, this slide always takes a very long time. But do you guys have any questions?
Anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kim?
I just wondered, now that you have been here, you mentioned it, that you learned things you didn't realize. It was beyond your expectations. I'd just like to hear from each of you. Did you learn something that you didn't realize you were going to learn when you came?
I did think we learned a lot about like exotics, honestly. I thought it was going to be mostly around like the small animals and some large animals, but it was really cool to learn about any of like the exotics and especially how to handle them because I haven't been around a lot of exotics before, so it was definitely a really cool experience.
For the livestock, I definitely didn't know anything about the chute system. That definitely did surprise me, especially because like I didn't really know much about the farm, like that situation or like any large animals. So that was a really great experience.
I also didn't realize we'd get so much opportunity to work with livestock and learn how to use the chutes and even work with all the horses. I thought it really exceeded my expectations.
And for me, this is my second year here, and this is my second time trying to do this program. But this is my first time in my second semester, and I didn't realize how much x-ray stuff we would learn and how much surgery stuff we will learn. And all the packing and all the how to get the positioning right, how to do this, how to do that. I didn't know how technical it was until I started actually walking through it.
Yeah, mine is everything large animal because I originally applied to NATE actually, but their program got full so fast. So I then went to this one, and I kind of thought in my head, well, they're both labeled as a VMA program, but really getting here and seeing the farm and all the animals there, that is no way in Edmonton at all. And I've learned so much about large animal. I've honestly gained a whole new respect actually that, you know, I always viewed them as animals, but I never really understood so much of the intricate nuances that they have to them and such. So I really do appreciate that experience that I've gotten from here.
Yeah.
So to kind of build on Kim's question then, so have any of you changed the direction that you want your crew to go in because of the new things you've learned?
For me, definitely I have. I originally wanted to start doing like livestock and like horses specifically because I originally owned two before coming here. But now we had a talk with Kim in her class and we talked about wildlife. And I really wanted to now start getting into maybe volunteering there, or if they have a position, maybe even applying and throwing my name in the hat.
I actually originally wanted to just go into small animal, but after working extensively with the horses here at Lakeland, I've decided I'm going to be specializing in equine medicine.
I kind of have the same too. Like it was mostly I was going towards more small animal, but then once I learned about like all the different livestock and all the large animal clinics, I definitely want to go more towards large animal. I think just because it's what I'm used to and it's what I love doing. So.
To me, I would want to get comfortable with small animals first and get all the experience, and then definitely consider moving on forward with a large animal as well. Just kind of expand my experience and my learning.
For myself, I kind of had no idea what I wanted to do, actually. But it's more I wanted to create a base to go somewhere from that. And I do feel like I've built that now, where it's just experience in school and knowing that I am capable of learning things. So whether I decide to stay in this field or go to a different one, it's just this solid base that I've created. That's what is essential. I'm not sure where my path will take me, but we'll see where it goes then.
Any other questions?
Zelenka?
Is there something that we didn't do during the year that you would have
Honestly, for me, I wish we got to maybe go on a field trip to like one of those wildlife sanctuaries and seeing kind of up close. But that's just me. I now really like wildlife, and so maybe getting in contact with one of those organizations, like when we had the WDDC field trip when we went up there, maybe making it a stop or a point to stop there and seeing all those animals.
To me, I feel like I wish we got to work more with the exotic animals because, again, you don't really see that much in a clinic, but then you'd also want to have at least a little bit more on-hands experience with them because I know they are hard to like get access to as well, but it'd be nice if we were a little bit more experienced with them and kind of more been familiar with them as well.
I also wanted more opportunities to work with the exotics. Even though we did get one lab to work with them, I would have liked more opportunity.
I would say, yeah, exotics and maybe a little bit more sheep labs. I do know this semester that they were gone and such, so I do know that that was something you couldn't really control, but I found it fun to work with little spicy monsters.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same thing for me too, like just more like the hands-on labs, like with the animals, like the handling wise anyways, with either exotics or large animals, small animals, everything.
More surgery.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Any other questions?
We're doing the shuffle. The shuffle.
That's great.
Thanks.
I clicked escape. That's the best I could do. Yeah, you might have to line up a little bit in the middle. There we go. That's better. There's my clicker. We gotta get in the camera, guys.
Sorry, I'm just
Thank you.
Okay.
We definitely would not have noticed that otherwise.
Yeah. Okay, you're good.
You got it? Perfect. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to our VMA Students View this evening. So first off, I'm going to start off with what is a VMA. Well, first off, the definition, as we all know, is a veterinary medical assistant, although we believe there's so much more than that. They're a versatile, important member of any veterinary team. They're responsible for providing restraint for medical procedures, ensuring appointments and surgeries are scheduled and on time, ensuring that patients in care are kept happy, fed, and safe. On top of that, they are also the first line of contact for many clients, whether it be over the phone or in person.
Hi, my name is Spencer Burke. I am originally from Edmonton, but I was born there, but I'm from Kamloops, Alberta, and I will be doing my practicum at the Wetaskiwin Animal Clinic, which I only found out today is small animal. A little bit about me is that I have 7 pets at home, which includes 6 cats and 1 dog. I've always had a love for and interest in medical science, and I thought, why not combine that with my love of animals, hence why I'm here. As you can see, that's a picture of me and my first cat care shift cat named Biscuit. He was the love of my life. I also just love big-headed cats.
My name is Sarah, and I'm from Lloydminster, and I will be doing my practicum at the Vermilion Veterinary Clinic. I was really excited when I found the VMA program because it was exactly what I was looking for. And this program has really grown my passion in caring for animals as well.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm actually from Kamloops, BC originally. I moved back to Alberta to enter into this program. I will be going to the pet hospital in Leduc for my practicum this year, and along with my cat Daisy and my dog Doug, who you can see up there, I've also got my 2 horses, Pepsi and Sugar, who are living out their best life in retirement on my mom's cattle farm.
My name is Jillian Kohler. I was born and raised on an acreage just outside of Yorkton, Saskatchewan. I will be doing my practicum at McCarthy Vet Services in Wawota, Saskatchewan. And I initially came to Lakeland College to take a environmental sciences program, but I soon realized that it was not something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And at the end of last year,
I learned about the vet tech and VMA programs, and I immediately realized that it was something that I wanted to pursue for the rest of my life.
Hi, I'm Emily, and I am originally from the Battleford, Saskatchewan area, and I'm a mother of 4 who has also had pets and livestock from as early as I can remember. And I chose this career because I knew it was something that I could do for most of my life and enjoy. Helping animals when they need it the most is what I knew I wanted to do from a very young age. Back home I have 2 pets of my own, including my son's hermit crab, which I look after of course, and my dog Bailey, who I love with all my heart. I will be moving back home for a while to do my practicum at Lakeland Vet Services in North Battleford. So, when it comes to exotics, we had an exotics lab in November, and we had the chance to handle some critters you don't get to see every day, such as ferrets, a leopard gecko, a turtle, a bearded dragon, and my favorite, the ball python. Interesting fact we learned during this lab is that a turtle shell can stop growing due to insufficient nutrition, and making it extra vulnerable to infection and trauma to the shell, which can cost the turtle its life because its vital organs are exposed. I feel the exotics lab was definitely one of the highlights of the year for me. It brings a different type of excitement to my heart to work with the pets that aren't as popular as your everyday cat or dog. And if I don't end up at a large animal clinic first, I would definitely pursue getting a position at a clinic that specializes in exotics. This lab helped to prepare us for what to expect when an exotic pet comes into the clinic and how to properly handle and care for them. Especially for the few of us who may have been a little nervous to hold an exotic or have never done it before. Like for example, my son's hermit crab, his name is Jack, and one of our assignments in lecture was to create something a client could take home for more information on their new pet. So of course I put my name down. And this assignment not only helped gain more knowledge for the patients and clients I have to assist, but also help myself as an owner improve the quality of life for my son's crab as well. Aside from all the seriousness of school, we have formed some unbreakable bonds along the way, both with our fellow classmates and our instructors, who are not only there for us when it comes to labs, lecture, or schoolwork, but also when we need to reach out for other supports while being here in college. I just have to give a shout out to Kim because she is amazing at what she does, and if it weren't for her, I would not be standing here in front of you today presenting. Many of us have met new friends that we can now lean on for support even after we leave school, which in turn boosts our confidence, resulting in added motivation to be the best version of ourselves and push each other through, whether it's notes missed from a lecture, clearing up questions during labs, personal issues, to just wanting to have fun. Our instructors have taught us how to carry ourselves gracefully and assisted us in creating pathways to success. We have formed relationships within this group that bring us all that much closer. The VMA program has forever changed my life for that reason alone, and I could not have chosen a better group of students to be in school with.
Now that one's always hard to follow up because it makes me a little teary-eyed, but I'm going to move on to one of my favorite classes this year. That was the Diseases and Treatments class. So it's a very important class for not just us, but owners as well. Being able to differentiate between the diseases and being able to provide proper at-home instruction is super important for us and our clients. It helps them build more trust in us. And of course, one of my favorite parts was learning about neurological diseases. I was very interested in that, but I haven't really spent much time on it. So learning about all the different things that can happen and how they look was super important and interesting to me. And then, of course, not only to just build on my own knowledge, but being able to see how far veterinary medicine has come in the past 10 years has been an excellent opportunity, and being able to see it expand even more and get into all these new things is super interesting. And although we didn't have a lab for this class, I do believe that the notes, lectures, and videos that we were given have embraced our knowledge of diseases and being able to encourage us to keep learning. And then, of course, we are moving on to, I think, almost everyone's favorite trial of this year was our cat care. So for this, part of this includes each student getting one cat for one day, where we were responsible to feed, water, and play with the cats. And although every cat has its own personality, as I'm sure anyone who's been around a cat knows, I'm sure this has increased confidence in not just myself, but other students in my class for handling afraid and anxious cats, especially the ones we get from the shelter. And speaking of, up here I have Travis, who was on my last cat care shift, who lovingly got adopted by Sarah Glanowski back there, and I hope you guys are having a great time because he's the sweetest. And then up here we've got a example of the soap records that we have to fill out anytime we go in for our cat care shift. So doing food calculations and doing our record are two of the most important things that we can learn. You use it almost every single day in every clinic setting. Being able to provide a proper paper trail and the nutritional levels helps us keep track of our patients and also helps the client feel more trust and invaluableness to us.
So back in October, we had the opportunity to do a lab during open house with Taryn. In that lab, we did fecal floats and smears. These tests ultimately allow us to help determine any sort of issues that that might be causing some sort of issue, whether it's diarrhea or something else that might be happening inside of the animal. The lab started off by going out to the sheep kennel, which we're not going to talk about that. But we had to go out and grab as much poop as we could, and it didn't matter if it was fresh or old. After that, we went back to the clinic to then combine our creation with a saline solution in a plastic container, and we made what Taryn likes to call poop soup. And finally, after all this mixing and enduring the wonderful smell, we were finally able to put our feces/poop soup onto a cover slip and look under the microscope. So in these pictures we have what I was able to take. Unfortunately, I was not successful in finding anything of interest, but it does of course look very cool. In relation to anatomy, we went over terminology. Terminology is just a lot of big fancy words, and while it may have taken us time to understand breaking it down and the meanings of everything, it ultimately helps us to be precise and accurate when talking, because if we say one thing, if we spell it wrong, it could be something completely different. And finally, one of my personal favorite classes of the program being radiology. I was able to put everything together and just, it ultimately helps us to diagnose any sort of issues and injuries. But due to the radiation that comes with radiology, we have to wear personal protective equipment, or PPE. This includes lead-lined gear, eyewear, and a dosimeter to track any radiation that we might be exposed to. And depending where we are imaging, we have to change the settings of the MAS and KVP, which is the density and the contrast.
So one of my favorite labs in first semester was the rabbit handling lab. We got to learn how to properly hold and carry the rabbits, and we got to give them critical care, a supplement that gives them extra electrolytes and vitamin C, and they really liked the flavor that we fed them. In lab, we explored many tools designed for procedures commonly performed on large animals, such as vaccinations and minor surgical procedures. Many of these tools were unfamiliar to me, highlighting the importance of the hands-on experience. Gaining knowledge about these tools not only enhances animal welfare, but overall improves farm efficiency and productivity as well. We spent a significant amount of time studying different surgical instruments. Some key points we covered include specific uses. Each instrument has a different purpose, making it important to know when selecting the instruments for the procedures. Safety and handling techniques, knowing how to safely pass the instruments to the vet as well. And sterilization, which is crucial for preventing infections and the longevity of the instruments.
Okay. One of my favorite labs that we did this year was our bovine handling labs. We learned about bovine handling in a few of our classes. In these labs, we learned proper stockmanship when handling bovine animals, how to safely sort cattle, how to help operate a cattle chute system,
and how to safely use large animal handling devices. Over the year we did lots of work with equine animals in multiple different aspects of our program, such as horse care and our animal production and genetics class. In horse care, we haltered, brushed, and picked horses' feet, and in animal production and genetics, we were taught proper stockmanship when handling horses and how important it is to understand a horse's body language when you're working with them. In second semester, during the second half of our radiology and surgery course, we went over the different aspects of surgery. I have always had a big interest in surgery, so I really loved this portion of our program, especially since it's something that will be used daily in a clinic setting. We learned a variety of skills in both lab and lecture. In lecture, we learned how to identify the different surgical tools, how to clean instruments. We learned how important sterility is. We learned about patient prep and the care of anesthesia machines. And in lab, we were taught how to pack instrument, drape, and gown packs, how to clean and sterilize surgical instruments, and how to clean oxygen tubes and bags.
And with that, thank you to our wonderful teachers for helping us through this program, as well as thank you to everyone for coming to watch our presentations today. Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
I just wondered if someone were to ask you guys now that you're close to graduating and someone's looking at the program, tell me one thing that you would tell them about the job itself, like something a VMA does that maybe you didn't understand before you got here.
I guess I can go first. Honestly, client services. I know a lot of us get into this program because we want to start working with animals on a daily basis, and we kind of want to push the humans out of that equation. I think that it's really important for any new students or anyone else trying to get into this field to realize that client communication is one of the most important skills that you'll have, and it can really save your butt in the future if you do something that you're not supposed to.
Yeah, I'd say the same as Alyssa, just like to know how big of like a portion of the course is that's like about, you know, like talking to people, communicating properly, and just learning how to deal with those difficult situations that you might come into.
I'd have to agree with that one. I never thought that we'd have to have so many people skills, and that there was a really big chance that we could be in the receptionist area a lot of the time. So I think that's, one of the biggest things that I would tell anybody considering coming into the program is that you will need those skills.
You got anything to add there, Sarah? I think we all think on the same wavelength for that one.
Just in addition, I guess, just like being articulate, and just like I never really understood or knew prior like how long we had to keep the files and records for, in case we were to ever get into like any sort of legal trouble, and like I guess the whole more so like legal side of things.
Sarah, how about you?
I guess I would say that they could help a lot more. It's not just like cleaning and stuff like that. Like there's different things that we can do, like helping with like x-rays and like getting out the surgical instruments. I didn't really know that before, but yeah, I could tell someone that.
I want to ask the same thing that I asked them both at Twist. So what would you want to, something that you want to do but not in labs or shifts or anything, in like lecture wise?
I mean, personally, I think for the diseases and treatments class, I would have loved to have done a lot more case studies and be able to actually kind of go through. And I know that we're not the ones doing that kind of stuff, but I feel it gives us all a better knowledge on how to handle things like that, being able to actually kind of put it into practice. I think would be very invaluable?
For me, I would say like I guess more like CPR and just going over like having I guess like an example like case of like this dog is starting to lose its heart, but it's starting to go into shock, and we have to give it IV and start compressions and all that. But of course, that's something that would be more of like a tech thing, I guess.
I kind of have to agree with Alyssa on the diseases and treatments thing, because one of the things I really wanted to learn how to do before I came was to be able to look at symptoms in an animal that they're showing and go, oh, that's what it is, or at least have an idea. So I think more case studies that way would have helped us.
Nope.
What are you looking most about, or what are you looking forward to most about your practicum?
Someone else take this one first, please.
I'm just looking forward just to get like the experience, just to get more experience with animals, because especially the small animals, because like we didn't do a lot with like actual animals. A lot of the times the work that we were doing on small animals was with like stuffies and cadavers. So I'm looking forward to getting more experience with live animals.
For me, it's the building my people skills that I'm really looking forward to, and getting used to talking to clients more.
I would second both the last people, but they did, but also just taking what I've learned and like, because it's one thing to learn in a classroom, but then also it's another thing to learn hands-on and then advance that knowledge and be able to like use it in the future, whether it's like I go into VT or something else.
I guess I'm just excited for the chaos, in all honesty. I'm excited to see what comes through the door, what's next, and being able to see different animals, different people, and different cases come in every day. I think that's going to be a good experience.
Every day will be different.
Exactly.
Mine would probably be like maybe if there's like after hours like emergency, like I would be like on call for it. I'd want to like experience that probably.
That's when the fun stuff comes in.
Yeah.
So make sure you put your name on there. Be like, hey, if something comes in, make sure you call me. Put me on speed dial. Because I think that happens at 9 p.m. or later.
Yeah. Very true.
On Friday.
Yep.
I'm here to help. No, you don't need that one. Put that down. You don't
This
need that
one?
Yeah.
Click the button.
Yeah, don't touch this one. You'll shut the screens off.
I'm assuming I click this button here.
Yeah. Let me just get out of here for you, and then I'll pull up your other one, which is cool.
Oh, I'm not being over there. Thank you, no thank you.
We gotta move over this one though.
We're gonna make it, it's a lot.
Okay. So it's these little buttons here. These ones.
Hurt this?
No.
Good. Just wait till she goes and sits down.
Yeah, won't be nice. She's talking.
Just give her a second.
Hello everyone today, and thank you for being here today. Everyone online, thank you, and hope we don't have to crank your volume too hard. We're enjoying today. We are going to explain our very favorite parts of our experience in the VMA program. Today, let's learn, what is a VMA for start?
As VMAs, we can assist in many different aspects throughout clinic. We are trained to assist anything from checkups to surgeries, and as well as the front desk and reception areas.
Today we'll be explaining overall the value and knowledge that we learned from lectures to hands-on labs, as well as what we took away from each aspect. But let's start off with introducing ourselves. Hi, I'm Brooke. I'm the one that's talking right now. But there's two of us. I'm Brooke B. Hope we don't get that mixed up. I am currently living in Lloydminster, Alberta. I am originally from BC Kelowna. I changed my career from being a chef, which I did from the time I was 16 up until 3 years ago. After the end of COVID, cooking jobs kind of went downhill. So at first I started off with an online schooling of doing the veterinarian animal health care assistant class. And then my teacher told me about this program that I get more hands-on now that it came back on to hands-on learning. And now I'll be doing my veterinary practicum in Red Deer, Alberta, 10 minutes away from my brother's place with my dog. And it's at the Cedarwood Veterinary Animal Hospital and Emergency, as well as they also deal with small, large, and a wide range of wildlife that come in. It's Red Deer. There's deers everywhere.
Hi, my name is Danielle Warinka. I am from Waynard, Alberta, and I will be completing my practicum at the Veterinary Medical Center of Eastern Alberta in Wainwright. I chose this career path because at the young age, I fell in love with the thoughts of having a job that involved animals. The older I got, the more I learned about the veterinary industry and knew that was the career path I wanted to follow. We have another person in this project, but she unfortunately wasn't able to make it this evening, so I will be introducing her. Her name is Brooke McDonald, and she's from Lethbridge, Alberta. She will be doing her practicum at Ranch Docks in Lethbridge. She chose this career path because she loves animals and loves working with them.
I'm Paige, I'm from Bonnyville, Alberta, and I will be completing my practicum at a mixed practice, which is the St. Paul Veterinary Clinic, where I've always wanted to take on a career that involves caring and loving animals of all species. I grew up on a small farm in a very small town. I had all kinds of animals, from exotics like chameleons and turtles to all livestock and all small animals. And I felt like this program was the right one for me.
So my name's Peyton. I'm from Airdrie, Alberta. I will be completing my practicum at the Bow Bottom Veterinary Clinic and Hospital in Calgary. I chose this path probably when I was 6, and then it changed half a dozen times, like anybody else. And then I think I ended up back at the vet industry just based on experience and having my own animals. I really want to be working with animals and helping them. As for Brooke, the other one, she really enjoyed working with all the cows in this program. Those are, I think, the most passionate thing she has. And she loved that we're not exclusive to just one species. We get to work with so many of them and learning all just different aspects of them.
So my favorite part of the VMA program was being able to handle and restrain all the different animals from livestock to exotics. Another part that I really enjoyed was the pre-surgery preparations, like packing the packs, learning how to shave an animal for what is it called?
Post-op? Or pre-op?
For pre-op. I'm also really enjoying that we aren't just learning about your generic pets. We also get to learn about animals that most people wouldn't have as pets, like wildlife and exotics.
My favorite part was gaining new knowledge that I've never heard before about different animals and different species. And first hands-on with a cow putting my hand in its mouth. It was interesting. I found out I'm stronger than I am, for how old I am. But other than that, I loved learning the new math for nutrition of different animals, different species, from all the way from neonates up to geriatric, and that there is a difference between senior and geriatric animals. That is a big leap. And everything comes down to nutrition. If you want anything to be healthy, you have to have the proper nutritional values. As well as, my most favorite part was the learning environment from all the teachers, all the different teaching styles that they show, being able to be hands-on interactive, engaging lectures, having fun, being able to play games in lectures and learning, and working with different groups, different classmates each time we had an assignment broadens your horizons more, and it made it more enjoyable and more engaging.
My favorite parts of this program was definitely the hands-on learning from labs. I am a very visual learner, and the labs definitely helped out a lot. And working with so many different species, I knew coming up here I'd get the opportunity to work with livestock. I didn't realize there was so many up here. And then I think radiology was probably one of my favorite parts of this program, just learning the x-rays, the positioning, all the information you have to have memorized to be able to do this.
My favorite part of this program was definitely the hands-on experience. I am a very hands-on learner, and I really like that there's such a wide variety of animals that we get to work with in the college. We did a lot of exotics, which I'm really excited about. I really like them, and I hope that I'm going to pursue a career probably more leaning towards exotic animals. Having them all available to us and being able to use those animals during labs gives us the opportunity to build confidence and use our skills that we learned during lecture.
For us, our classroom experience through the VMA program offers hands-on experience, training, and the fundamental knowledge we need to excel in this field, as well as the opportunity to specialize in areas of evolving animals, as from shelter management to being in the, what was the word again? Wildlife rehab centers, to that there's two different sides of a coin to every animal. They come from good situations, they come from bad. Learning to be able to show them better, as well as learning the different terminologies for all the animals, as well as the clinic procedures. Those are a must. Always follow the rules and policies. Never want to mess that up. Then your clinic's going to say bye-bye to you. As well as medical records. If you didn't write it down, it didn't happen. You have to make sure everything is on point. And we got it drilled into us really good. And pharmaceutical. I did not know there were so many different drugs that we use for animals and humans at the same time.
So during our time in the VMA course, we got to experience a variety of different field trips. I wanted to shout out a thank you to all the teachers that took the time and effort into preparing the field trips for us. Here are the field trips we got to experience this year. The first field trip we went on was to the Vermilion Livestock Exchange during one of our labs for animal production and genetics class. We got a tour of the entire facility, from where the livestock gets dropped off up until they get sold. We also got to see and learn what the staff do behind the auction scene.
Our second field trip was the Quarter Cuts Meat Packers and Slaughterhouse. We saw how they process meat from the market and right into our refrigerators. We also got to see the process that they go to from the time they get off the truck to the butchering. We were shown their own, like where they pack all their meat, how they pack it, different cuts, different protocols based on biosecurity and the importance of biosecurity to have a proper functioning and clean environment for a butcher facility.
Our third field trip was to the WDDC warehouse. We got the opportunity to go and check out the process that they have, from the orders that they get to all the different people that work behind the scenes, and how it makes it a very high functioning place.
The next one we went to was the Humane Society in Edmonton. We got shown a lot. They have a very beautiful facility. It's really cool to see how many different treatments and rehabilitation opportunities there are for the animals that get picked up there. They showed us the different ways that they work with certain animals to make them readily available for adoption.
and we got to see all the cute puppies and kitties that were ready for adoption. That was probably my favorite part.
Almost took a couple home.
Almost took a few home.
How can we continue to educate about the VMA content? We can go to schools, advocate for the program. We can make flyers. We can do pamphlets and put them at different vet clinics to show that there is more if you're not looking forward to going through the whole vet tech program that takes almost 2 years. This program is a stepping stone to see if you are actually interested in this industry and can handle it. It gives you a stepping stone to educate and learn. And it's also very fun. As well as we have past students that have given presentations. We have different staff and different variations from the veterinary world that has taught us all different valuable lessons. As well as hearing the program not only from us ourselves, but from everyone else who's been here, past and present and future. And you can always see about coming and shadowing a VMA for a day, or coming in and talking to the teachers or some of the students and figure out if it's right for you.
We wanted to give a very special thank you to all of our instructors. You have really helped us this year to guide us through all of this and help us through our challenges, and we really appreciate that, and we appreciate you for everything that you do and continue to do for students.
And thank you guys all for being here today and taking the time to listen to us. Would there be any questions?
Yeah, sure.
If you had one afternoon to do whatever you wanted, either in class or in the lab or whatever, what would you choose and why?
I would like to do what I got to experience during my work experience hours before I got to get into this program. It might be a little graphic, but helping with orthopedic surgery on dogs. I got to see a hip replacement. I don't mind the little messy, dirty work. It was very, very interesting to see all the different bolts they have to put in.
Yes. For me, it would definitely be surgeries. I actually am very interested in surgeries. I like the cool stuff that comes with it. There's so many different kinds, from simple as spays and neuters to emergency C-sections and foreign bodies. So I think that that's a really big, important thing for me.
Yeah. Same as her surgeries. Would love to see more of those. I'd probably go and work with livestock. I absolutely love working with the larger animals.
I have to agree with all the rest of them. I would go see another surgery, get my hands dirty a little bit.
Yeah, get a little dirty. Yeah, Kim.
I just had a quick question. I just wondered if you could pinpoint to one memorable moment when you're here, what would that be?
The sassy miniature horse from Jessica's lab.
Yeah, for sure.
She took me through a run around. She is the size of my dog. My dog's about 80 pounds now, and she was the same size and legitly was 10 times stronger. Yeah. And the sass level on those minis compared to the big ones, I prefer the big horses.
Mine would probably also be the minis. Nugget.
He
was the cutest thing. He was a baby, and probably the size of a small dog, maybe a little bigger. Medium dog, small medium dog. Yeah, super cute. But the sass is there.
Mine was definitely the equine bandaging. I have a horse that is very, very prone to getting injured. She loves running through fences. So it was very good to learn how to properly bandage for those situations.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with the equine labs. Getting more time with the horses and bandaging, just being around them, I enjoyed the equine.
Amy. Question. What do you? So I wanted to be an answer, but what are you gonna miss most about Lakeland when you leave?
The pool, yes. We had an
answer separately.
Separately. Well, some of my classmates and we decided to have a little group thing, and we went to the pool. Yeah. It was a blast until someone lost their glasses.
Who was that? Brooke.
The other Brooke. She lost her glasses.
I'm like, is she gonna say swimsuit?
Oh no. She lost her glasses in the pool, and then it was like navigating a bat.
For me, it would definitely be the support system. It's crazy how you come here in the beginning of the year not knowing a single person and building like some of the strongest relationships that you would have never imagined that you would have. So I think that was really good, and I will probably miss that the most, is the family aspect, I guess, of being in this program and the students in this class for sure.
Yeah. Definitely the students and the staff. I missed the first 2.5 weeks of school because my surgeon decided to call me with less than 24-hour notice for surgery. So when I came here, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, where any of my classrooms were, but these three kind of just pulled me in and taught me what I was doing, where to go.
Yeah, I'd have to say that classmates, I've made probably the strongest friendships I've had ever, including all 12 years of school. I'd have to say these are probably my strongest friendships I've ever had, and I'm going to miss all of you.
Any more questions?
Sure. Zuleika.
It's kind of like a two-part question, but like comparing like when you guys first came here to now, how and have you grown? And also
Definitely, yes.
I've grown about a year.
Would you?
Would we go back if we could?
Like if you had a chance to like redo the program?
Honestly, I would personally say no. I would not go back and redo the program. I feel like I've done as good as I could. I probably could do better, but if I were to go back, everything would change. Everything is how I want it to be. I have an amazing friend group, amazing classmates, amazing teachers.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. I think I agree.
Yeah, because if we went back and had a redo, we would change stuff that we've done that made us have all these strong connections in the beginning.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But wouldn't be bad to come back and be like, hey, I'm a student from the past. This is what I do now.
Yeah, for sure, to come in and like speak on something about the program, that'd be different.
Yeah.
But to redo it all,
Yeah.
no,
No,
I
I
don't
wouldn't
think I
want to
would.
redo
Yeah.
it.
We'll
It's been
explain our
difficult.
experience that we went through school and give them a pat on the back that they're doing it.
Yeah, you'll make her. Just hang in there.
Yeah.
Anybody else? That's all?
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Just going to close out the computer, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who joined us, whether in person or online, and I just like to give another round of applause to everybody because I think you guys did a heck of a job. Good job, everybody.
Do you want me to stop the live stream?
Sure. Thank you for joining us online, everybody. I'm sure everyone's as proud as we are.